Okay, my peoples, good morning. We're about to get into this Bitcoin joint right here that I've been working on. Hit you off with a couple of my perspectives so that you can see what I'm seeing. You go decide what you need to decide, whether you want to rock, whether you want to be on the sideline, whatever. Whether you find this informative or not, that's on you. I know I do. I'm just here to break it down for my brothers and sisters out there who also want to, add to their portfolio with this real volatile asset, because Bitcoin is very volatile. For those who don't understand what I mean by that, that means it swings and sways in its price ranges more than other assets. Alright, so let's just get into this so we can start the cipher and see what's going on. Damn, my thing looks like it's like I should wipe it, like it's dirty. Alright, forget all that shit right now. Alright, let's first get into obviously when Bitcoin made its all-time high right here on April 14th of 2021. That was the high right there set. So you can see it right there. That's 64,863 and 10. That was the value, the highest value of Bitcoin, all time so far. You see this gray area up here? It says March and April of 21. This is due to the monthly chart. What we're looking at right now is a daily chart. Okay, each one of these candles represents a whole day, but you could go to a weekly chart, you can go to a monthly chart, you can even break it down to minutes. You know what I mean? But this gray bar up here, or area, shaded area, represents the highs, the highest close and the highest point of Bitcoin during March and April of this year. Okay, now you see what this says shoulder, and then it says head up here, and then it says shoulder. I'm gonna get into a little technical analysis with you. Dudes who study charts are always looking for patterns that continuously repeat themselves, in charting, that throughout long periods of time, people have come to give this pattern a 70 or 80% probability that when it forms it works out, or this one over here with a 90% probability, whatever the case may be. The reason I'm even gonna go into this is to show you that though it may give you a sign of what's to come or what's about to happen, or give you like a picture of the investors, all of them total, their sentiment, how they feel about all this that's going down. So this head and shoulders pattern, for anybody who wants to get into the technical analysis of charts, it's usually a reversal. It means that a possible reversal may be coming. Now the crazy thing is, obviously it came with Bitcoin. All right, now this is what I want to show you about this head and shoulders pattern first. Okay, this is the first shoulder here. Okay, comes down, got supported right there, that blue line, which is the 50-day moving average. Okay, then it formed the head. That was the top. That was that high, all-time high it made. Came down, got supported over here now at the 100-day moving average before forming the other shoulder. So there you have, regardless how you choose to look at it, you could say this is the right shoulder head and the left shoulder, or you could say this is the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. That shit doesn't matter. That's on you. That's your preference. Now, what matters here in this pattern is those 2 points set by the shoulders, because those 2 points, when you connect them, you see that black line going down like that, and you see how it says neckline right there? That's what is considered in that pattern. This is considered the neckline. Now let's look at this after forming this shoulder, the last shoulder. of the pattern, which again, the head and shoulders pattern is considered a reversal pattern. So this is good to know. So when you spot it, be cautious. Now look what happened since forming that last shoulder. A crazy sell-off. Let's go look at the head from when it made that whole all-time high. Look at this sell-off right here. Right? You see that sell-off? Does that sell-off look worse than this sell-off from when it made this shoulder first? Yeah, look at this sell-off went whoop like that. But this sell-off, look whoop. But then look at this sell-off, whoop. So obviously the sell-off got worse and worse. And here is what I'm trying to show you. See this area right here? These 2 days. These are the 2 days that it broke below that neckline. They closed, these 2 days closed below that neckline. And since it did that on those 2 days, it just came down. Now, since it came down, you can see consolidation here until it formed that bottom. Right here, it formed the bottom on June 22nd of this year. And that bottom so far, because that bottom hasn't been taken out yet, was 28,000. What is that? 28,893 and 67. That was the value that is set. Now you see this shaded area down here. Remember how we spoke to you about this shaded area up here, and on the monthly chart, how it represents the highest close and the highest value it obtained on the monthly. So the highest month it closed was down here, this bottom line, and the highest month it reached was this high. See, so this is the highest on the monthly chart area. So this is an area, as you can see, look, boom, it got resisted there, going back down. It's never broken out of this area, as you can see, look, here, got up here to make the high, got here, and boom, down. So this area has been straight resistance. Now this area that we're talking about down here, remember that sell-off from that last shoulder came all the way down, consolidated in this area, just trading in a range up and down, hasn't broken out that range, formed that bottom here, and here goes that shaded area. Now on the monthly level, this represents, this top line right here represents, this is the lowest close on the monthly time frame, and this is the lowest point on the monthly time frame. Okay, now as you can see, we're trading between these two ranges on a monthly level. Now these are a whole bunch of days, brother, a whole bunch of days. There's a whole bunch of weeks and all that in there. We'll go to the monthly chart just so you can see what that looks like. I want to explain to you what is going on here on this daily chart, because there's a lot of information. I need you to understand it so that you can then make your decision more informed, a more informed decision. All right, let's put it that way. So let's get back to this area. The bottom, this is the bottom monthly range. This is the top monthly range. So on a monthly level, we're trading between these two ranges. We haven't broke out to the top and we haven't broke out to the bottom yet. We're looking at this daily chart so it could tell us how things are evolving, how investors' sentiment, whether are they getting more bearish on Bitcoin. More bearish would indicate that there's more selling is coming, which means the price will be going down. If the sentiment, which is their feelings, is more bullish, then they're anticipating that it's going to go up. And as we can see, since forming that bottom on June 22nd, it got retested, came back. You see, look, it got retested, and then it has broke to the upside. And you can see from these bars, looking at all these bars here, you can see that this is a clear uptrend so far. Mind you that I'm saying so far because I need you to understand some of the things we're going to talk about. Okay, I don't want you to oh shit, this shit is great, I gotta get it, and then this shit reverses back to the downside, and you fucked, and you mad, and you like, why that nigga Lord just did me wrong and made me think this shit was going down. That's not what I'm doing. I'm giving you the what, and then you're gonna make the decision, because at the end of the day, I invest my money. I don't invest your money. I take risk with my money. So because I'm investing my money, I want to put the time in to decipher and grasp and understand everything I'm putting my money into. So I know how it behaves, so that if things don't go my way in a certain amount of time, I'm not acting foolish and jumping out the window. I'm not one of them Wall Street motherfuckers. Fuck that. You know what I mean? 23 years didn't make me hang up. This ain't gonna do it. So now let's get back to this. So now we can see clearly that forming that bottom, retested the bottom, and has been on a rally to the upside since. Okay, you can see the bars. Look at all these greens, and then the reds to come back, you know, to pull back, and then the greens up to the upside. You can see the size of the green bars compared relative to the size of the red bars. The red bars indicates selling. The green bars indicate that they're buying. You can see that bullish sentiment right here. You can see that. But let me explain something to you. This nice rally right here, like whoever bought here and now they're up here, oh yeah, they're happy. You know what I mean? They can cash out right now. But let me explain to you. This rally right here has not yet taken out what took place since it formed that high here and came all the way down here. It has not, this has not replaced that yet. You can look at these nice looking green bars here, but those nice looking green bars still don't compare with these ugly big red bars here, these ugly big red bars here, which was those bad sell-offs. Not even these with the other shoulder. You can see it. So that's a way of you judging the sentiment. Obviously the sentiment here is bullish. People are feeling like, yeah, I want to buy, I want to get in, you know what I mean? They're already looking at this and saying, yo, this looks like this could have been a bottom, because it was, you know, it was set here, retested here. It's been a lot of, you know, support in this area. This shaded area down here on the monthly level has been the support area, while this one on the monthly level has been the resistance area. So on the monthly level, we're trading between these two ranges. Now let's go to the top of this range. The highest it went was right here. I told you 64.8, right? The lowest it went down here was 28.89. So let's just round it off to 28.9. Okay, so boom, here we go the bottom, here we go the top. Why do I want to share that with you? Because when you take this number and you take this number and you add them together, being that that's the high and that's the low set so far, you have to get what is called a midpoint. You see this right here? That midpoint is 46,878 and 36. Okay, that's the midpoint between that high and that low so far. That's the midpoint. Now during this nice rally where, you know, people are happy and feeling themselves and people are making money and the shoe shine guy is telling you get into Bitcoin, during this rally, only today, because this is a daily active chart. This is Bitcoin going on right now on the 14th of August. So we ain't bullshitting here. I'm sitting at a live chart. Only today and yesterday did it get above that value. You see that value is represented by this dotted purple line right there. And only on these 2 days has it gotten above that value. Right now it's trading below that value. Yeah, it's gotten above it, but it's trading below that value right now. So as we can see, that area, that midpoint between that high and this low is being resisted. Right now it hasn't broken above that. It's resisted. So right now we're going to see how it starts behaving. Now this is what I want to show you as well, that's going to be relative to this. When we look at the head, the shoulder, the head, and the shoulder pattern, since we're building on that pattern, we're looking, what is the highest value of the head and shoulders pattern? This one, obviously, the all-time high. The head is the highest one. And then what is the lowest point of that pattern? Obviously this shoulder, because this shoulder is shorter than that shoulder. So this value, we're looking to use this value, okay, with the bottom of this value. So when we take the highest on this value, which is 59.5 something, so almost 60,000 right there, with this bottom, which is almost 30,000. Add those two values up, divided by 2 to get the midpoint, and here we have the midpoint. See, right there, 44,704.49, midpoint of lowest shoulder and bottom of 622. Excuse me, 21. Okay, so that is that. Now let's look at today's Bitcoin value. Right now, so far, Bitcoin is at 46, let's say 46.4, rounding it off because there's a 7 behind that 3. So 46,400, and 46,400 is definitely above 44.7. Okay, so we above this line. That's good, which is the midpoint between here and here. But we're not yet above this line, which is the midpoint between here and here. Now, why would I be sharing with you the midpoint? Well, if this is truly gonna reverse and start going back up again, in order to be considered in an uptrend, it would have to pass these 2 points. You can't be trading below these 2 points and say that you're in an uptrend. You're still in a downtrend because you're trading lower than the averages between this high and this low. So you will still be considered as you're still on the weak side. You're not on the upside, you're still to the downside. But if you're trading above these 2 lines, if you're up here, now you can start saying, well, listen, this rally might have some legs. You see? Because now if this rally has legs, it's going to want to retest these prior highs. And now comes the question, when it retests these prior highs, will it want to break out to form a new high, or will it come here, find resistance like it did these 3 times over here, and go back down? You will know when it gets there by the look of the bars. Look at this rally here to the upside. Look at all these nice green big bars, only little red bars. So that means that the pullbacks were not significant enough to reverse this rally yet. But look at these over here. See these bass sell-off buyers? You knew when all these, whoever was thinking that this was, oh, well, tomorrow's they was fooling themselves, because look, this was letting you know exactly how these investors were feeling. They were selling, brother. So unless you were shorting Bitcoin, that's the only way you was making money right here. And shorting means selling it. So you sell it here and then you buy it back here. And the difference between there and there is what you get, because you sold it at this price. So somebody gave you this amount of money here, and then you're going to sell it to somebody at this price, which is a lower price. That money there is going to be the difference between there and there. Okay? They give you money, you give them back money, but you kept the rest, the difference. Okay. So now that we're here, let's look at this rally. All right. In order to understand what is going on in this rally, we have to consider what went down before. So the highest point, all-time high, we already established that, and so far the bottom that it was set. When we go back and look at the volume set on this day, it was about $78 billion, rounding it off, and in 78 billion, and not dollars, in volume. So 78 billion. And then when we go to the bottom that was set so far, we had about almost 60 billion in volume. So we take those two numbers, average it out just to get an average volume. Why would we want an average volume? Well, obviously we already know the type of volume that went in to form the high, and we know the type of volume that went in to form the low. So we want to know that midpoint to see if anything that decides to rally or go down breaks above that midpoint. Because if it does, if volume comes in above that midpoint volume that we just spoke about, then that's an indication of which way it's going. Now, if volume comes, higher than that midpoint to the upside, then this gets confirmed. If the volume comes in with going to the downside, then then this was just a retracement from this pullback, from this down trend, this was a retracement only to continue back down. Okay, so watching volume is very important. Now, speaking on that, this rally here, since forming that bottom, let me tell you, this day here, right here, which was I think on I can't really see it real quick too clearly, on 7/26, July 26th of this year. This day was the only day that had the highest volume since this rally began. Since this rally began, this has been the highest day. Why I wanted to show you that? Because that's the day that it broke above this neckline. Remember this neckline that I spoke to you about? With the head and shoulders pattern? See, you gotta keep in the back of your mind the stuff that you already set up before. Okay? Because remember when it broke below that neckline? Look, with that bad sell-off, it broke through right here, remember? It got below it. Look, it came back to that line and got resisted. Came down, formed that bottom, and then broke out of the line, the neckline, on that day that I'm telling you, that had the highest volume of this rally right here. Now, mind you, that was a good day to break out of this, but that volume for that day, which was like about 51 billion, 52 billion, was still not enough or higher than the average volume I told you between that high and that bottom set there. So the volume, yes, it has been going up, but it hasn't been going up on higher volume than before. So you have to, as an investor, you have to think about that and say, okay, so when high volume comes back, because that's how it goes. It goes low volume, high volume, low volume, high volume, low volume, like that. It just keeps going between the two, low, high, in the volume. Right now, we know that this rally has been going up on lower value than the value set between that high and that low. Okay, so when higher volume comes back, will it come back to support the rally? If it does, that's the time to get in. That's a confirmation. Or will it come back? Will that high volume come back to bring it and check it and bring it back and continue this downtrend? That is the question. We will find out. Guess what? Who will reveal that to us? Time, motherfucker. Because time is the fucking snitch of all snitches. It will tell you everything. Alright, so give it time. Get your bread up. See what you're going to do, what you're going to decide. You might be looking at this and say, oh man, well then I can make money if it decides to go to the upside and play that wave. Or if, like Lord just said, the shit reverses to the back to the downside on high volume, I can sell Bitcoin and then buy it back at a lower price and make money that way. I suggest you stay away from the second one, because the second one is for more advanced investors. It's not for beginners, man. Beginners shouldn't be doing anything with shorting anything until they understand how that works, okay? That will have you jumping out the window. Don't go there. Just get your bread up little by little. And when I say, if you're thinking about buying into an asset, into a security, whatever, into Bitcoin, into a stock, whatever the case may be, because everything I just showed you right here, you can do the same thing to any stock, any asset that you can track like this through a candle form pattern. Because that's what this is called. This is a candle form pattern that was formed thousands of years ago in Japan. And this is how investors use today to determine the investments, the circle of investors and their feelings. All right, that's what we talk about. Before we bounce on this daily chart, I want to show you this little pink area over here that's highlighted, and that was June 18th on that day. And see, the reason I highlighted that whole day Because on that day is when the 50-day moving average line, see that blue line I just lit up, crossed the 200-day moving average. Now, technically speaking, in the investment world, that would be a bad sign, because they consider that a death cross. When the 50-day moving average crosses the 200-day moving average to the downside, they consider it a death cross, and it's considered in technical analysis that this 3-6 months down the road will be lower. So if that happened here on the 18th of June, well, here go that bottom, which is after the 18th of June, got retested here. See, it came back to the area of the death cross. Remember, that was that day, so it's that whole thing that gets lit up. Came back there, got resisted, came down to the area, back up again, resisted, came back down, got supported here, and then finally broke out of that. Look, on that day that I told you with the highest volume, which broke out of this, which is the death cross range, as well as the neckline on that day. Right there, bang, broke out with higher volume, the highest volume of this rally so far. That's good. That gives me confirmation that, hey man, this rally is trying to get legs behind it. It's trying to make it a true reversal. Again, who will let me know? Time, motherfuckers. Time. Not, I don't give a fuck how many years a motherfucker got in Wall Street. I don't care how many times they've been on Bloomberg. Ain't nobody a motherfucking a fortune teller, and they know exactly how shit is gonna unfold. But time will show you the truth, whether you like it or not, whether it goes in accordance with what you want it to happen or not. Time is gonna let you know the truth. So give it time. Get your bread up. If you're looking to make money off of Bitcoin on the bullish, meaning you're going long, you're buying it for it to go up, not selling it, man. But I'm trying to tell you to stay away from that right now, man. If you're a new investor, if you're not well read in this universe here, chill with that bullshit, man. Leave that shit to the more advanced niggas. In time, you will get there, and then you'll make money that way as well. Right now, you fuck around, you're gonna lose all your bread. So get your bread up, pick your spots, start buying a little here, start buying a little there, you know what I mean? Coinbase allows you to, I think, buy with like $5-10 at a time. So you buy like little slices of Bitcoin. You don't have to have, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 to buy Bitcoin, man. You can start with a few bucks, man, you know what I mean? You can start with the motherfucking same weed, the same money you give the motherfucking weed man, that you get nothing back but feeling nice for a few hours. Shit, I smoke my blessed too. But listen here, I want to grow my bread. I don't want my motherfucking bread to get lower and lower. I want to make it bigger and bigger. Hopefully you'll want the same thing too. Now let's go to the monthly chart, just so you can see those two things there. So I come up here, as you can see, these is 1 day, because each one of these is 1 day. So now, and for those who want to know where this chart is at, now mind you that when you go look this chart up, it's not going to be like this with all these things. I put all these things in here. I put the moving averages and all that because I know what the fuck I'm doing. You know what I mean? When you get there, all you're going to see is just the price and shit like that. You're not going to see none of these lines, so don't expect that. But if you're looking for it, it's on Yahoo Finance. And obviously, like I said, this is a current live chart of Bitcoin right now as is unfolding. Now let's go to the monthly chart right here. So now each one of these bars represents one whole month. Look at the time back when Bitcoin had first formed that all-time high that motherfuckers was talking about back in 2017 right there. See, that was the month right there that it formed it. See, it closed there, and that was the highest point there. So this whole gray box represented that. And look, I just want to show you something. When it hit that, came down, retested it, came down again, and then finally broke out right here. See, December of 2020 and January of this year was the months that finally, bang, got up out of there. And look at the size of these bars, brother. Just look at the size of these bars relative to any of these. This is a big rally. See, they came in serious. Even though people were talking that shit during this time, oh no, that shit is bullshit. Man, they were damn serious. And I was telling motherfuckers back then, yo, listen, institutional investors are getting involved here. When that happens, that ain't no bullshit. Nah, here comes the bullshit. Now, let's make this just a little bigger so we can see it better. So there goes that crazy rally, right? Bang, 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 bang. There go March. There go April. Let me bring this down a little so we can see. Oh, man, what happened there? What moved on me then? Let me take that out then, because it moved on me. Take that out. All right, so boom, come down so you can see the top of it. There go March and April. March, okay, the highest close was March. Okay, March was the highest close. Okay, and then April was the highest it went. Because remember, this is a candle, and this is how a candle works. This is the highest point. This is the lowest point. This is the body, so that means it opened here and it closed here. That's why it's red. This one, this is the highest it went. This is the lowest it went. It opened here and it closed here, and that's why it's green, because it closed higher than when it opened. That's how you understand how this goes. Now, look at this bar. Look at the bar in April. It was an indecisive bar. Look, high, low, but it's still right here in the middle. That's indecisive. That already showed you this month. This is a whole month. It showed you that in that month, the investors, after riding this, they were indecisive. They didn't know whether they wanted to take it back up or sell it. Well, the next month finally did make up their mind, though, huh? Look at this. Look at this, the next month. All right? This is May. That was April. They were indecisive. They didn't know yet. Oh, but they made up their mind in motherfucking May. Bang! Brought that motherfucker back down hard. And then there goes June. Another indecisive. Because look, came all the way high up here, low down here, but it stood in here. And it's red because it opened here and it closed lower. Then next month, bang. First month trending to the upside. So this was the first sign of the retracement, of the reversing. Okay, now let's look at that month now. We're looking at July. July got higher than June, and July's low was just higher than June's. So higher high, higher lows signifies uptrending. Here we are in August now. Higher high, higher low, so that still signifies on a monthly level we are uptrending. But like I was telling you from the first chart, which is the daily chart, this is beautiful, man. You like to see this, especially if you're going long, if you're into buying to see it appreciate in value and then selling at a higher price and making bread that way. That's going long. Going short is the opposite. You're gonna sell it high, you're gonna sell it at this price, hopefully buy it at a lower price and make that difference right there. So the size of these two bars definitely supersede this one, but they don't supersede this one yet. Ooh, that May, boy, that May was ugly. And that May was ugly because of that ugly ass April that was indecisive. So see, these two fucking months, the sizes of their bars are way bigger than these two recent rallies. So still be careful, be cautious, know your spots, okay? And let's get a more confirmation of this rally before we get crazy happy about it. And time, again, who is the greatest snitch of all time, it will reveal to us exactly what's going to go down. How it's going to, you know, whether it's going to go to the top, whether it's going to go back to time, will let us see that. So let's just take our time. Let's be ready. Listen, man, I'm in Bitcoin for it to go up in value. That's how I made money with the riot. You know, man, got to pay off the mortgage. You know what I mean? It's all good. This is what it's about, right? Well, everybody can do it, man. This ain't no motherfucking, that nigga lucky. There ain't no luck shit, man. I put in the work. It's a Saturday, 9 something in the morning, and this is what the fuck I'm doing. Instead of being in my bed snoring because of coming from the club last night. You have to decide what the fuck it is you want for yourself, man, and then get it. That's the only way it's gonna happen, man. With that, my peoples, enjoy your weekend. You know what I mean? May you grow your bread, and may your coming days in front of you, just like I hope they work out for me, unfold in accordance with your desires. Peace, my peoples.